Welcome to A.M.O.K.
We are back, and
We're back.
we are super happy. We're live again from the Arkansas, and
That is correct. I introduce her as a different name every time I see her. So this is our good friend.
Yes.
So
Very
welcome to
good
the show.
Well, thank you.
So tell us about what's going on.
So country.
Oh.
Thank you. God.
My brother talks that way, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
He's
but
from
I'm
Ozark, Arkansas.
well. I've been down in East Texas too long.
Oh, okay.
I need to come into the big city, and spend some time so I can learn how to talk again.
that's
Oh my God,
awesome.
that is funny. That is good.
Tell us a little bit about what you do and what you're up to.
What do I do? What?
Let's see.
Well, I know
What
one
can we
thing you
make
do.
up?
You've written this awesome book.
Yeah.
It's called Haunted Hill House, Where Spirits Speak, and it's. I had to get me a copy of this today.
And eventually I'll have the second book in the three-part series out, which will cover the murders and the deaths in the house. So many, it's going to be a whole book.
Wow, that's
Oh.
cool. That's cool.
So how many murders took place here?
I don't know because there's plenty that were undocumented. There was a murder died in the house naturally. You have a couple of children who possibly were murdered in the house, and one was Joshua, and his father was his uncle, and he was supposedly he had Downs or he had something or web feet or there was something, don't know exactly. Then he was supposed to stay upstairs just like they used to do with children, you know. Yeah, late 1800s and the 1900s. And he came downstairs one day, and that was while it was a brothel and a speakeasy, and Willie was the owner of the house, but uh, when it was a brothel, and some of the stuff is documented. Some of the stuff, the history of the house has been comes from people who lived in the house. Some of it, or like we verified the people through, we've been to their grave sites, with the cemeteries, and or stuff's been documented. But Joshua was supposedly Willie became enraged, got upset, and started to beat him. So Joshua's mother, Willie's niece, went to protect her son, and he ended up. Stories go that she was shot on the stairs. That's where she died.
Oh my God.
And then Joshua died upstairs. And allegedly, he was actually he went over by the bricks. There's a lot of fake fireplaces in the house, but there were still bricks coming up through the attic, and that's where he died. So
It's just a sad story. And what got you interested in the Hill House to begin with? How did you?
well, the former owner, Phil, who is an archaeologist, I started getting emails from him, and he would email, I guess, different teams and so on, to investigate the house after he bought it, because he bought it, they were going to live in it or make it a B&B, and then there was activity, and until and then he ended up selling it. One, he was afraid of the house because he thought he was going to die one night there. And, but that's how I learned of the house. And then it was out of mind because I never had time to go over there to investigate. And, I don't go investigate a lot of places where a lot of people go. It's usually, private residents when people call me or something, or businesses, or if the government or law enforcement, because they'll contact me as well. So that's the kind of stuff that I usually do. But when the current owners bought the house, we had a mutual friend, and there was an event going on. They were doing actually, they had partnered with somebody to do a haunted house in a haunted house. And then the friend of mine was a psychic, so she was going to do a reading, and then I was up there in one of the rooms because they would take groups of, 5 to 7 people or so, and they literally go room to room. And they always put somebody like a docent in every room. So she was telling me about the scratch room, which is the room they always put me in because that used to be Willie's room. And I used to think Willie was the one that scratched everybody, and it was only in that room. That's not the only room people get scratched anymore. I was in the Shadow Man room. There's a whole, there's like stories with everything. And Phil or the former owner, somebody named the rooms, the names they have. And
Based on the
yeah,
experiences.
and then Kathy and Sonny just kept those names. And they were telling me, oh, 75 people have been scratched. And that was what they got from Phil because this was not that a few months after they bought the house from Phil. And I'm being polite. I'm meeting them for the first time. And I'm like silently rolling my eyes in my head, like, yeah, right. Said, I saw 2 dozen people get scratched in that room that night. But it kind of, we became, we're really close friends now. And so it just kind of evolved from there. So to this day, though, I have spent more nights alone in that house than anybody has.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
How big is the house?
Uh,
A lot of rooms, or it does from the photo. It doesn't look that
well, there's
big.
5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It's, it's over 3,000 square feet. So I'm not sure really how, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know.
And there's a basement. Well, there's a basement. I haven't found the basement yet. We kind of have an idea of where the entrance may have been, but they concreted over, and that's been turned into a room now.
So two story. 2 story. Okay. So when was it built? Approximately.
Somewhere between 1860s and 1880s.
Okay. And you say it
There was a time in the city where there was a fire, like a lot of them in the old days. There was fire, so a lot of records were destroyed.
interesting.
So somewhere during that time, and that's kind of based off of census, I think.
Okay.
So where is the house located at?
It's in Mineral Wells, Texas,
Oh, okay.
which is it's just a little south of Fort Worth.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Kind of noisy over there for a second. Sorry about the background. We're live here at the expo. We're got the name right.
Oh, not Debbie.
No, not Debbie. No, Debbie didn't want to talk to us. No, it's not Debbie. No, it's not Martha Hazard. Debbie. Anyway, no, it's wrong. But anyway, she's a nice lady, and she's been picking on me since I did that last night to her. It's okay.
But
Life is good. I know. It's my friend.
So can you
Too
tell
bad.
I'm an it.
She's my friend.
Thank you.
Did that come out that way?
No, you said it's my friend.
That was another. I am
digging it?
failing this weekend. I am going to be the next spirit, and they're going to know who I am. Everybody's going to know who I am. So you guys are going to know who I am. Oh my goodness gracious.
So can you tell us what got you interested in the paranormal to begin with?
Because things started happening to me as a child.
Really?
Yeah, my earliest memory is somewhere between 4 and 5.
Okay.
Is there anything that you can share that happened when you were younger?
I would see things.
Really?
Okay.
I would see things. But because I'm a field investigator with MUFON, and then one of my close friends also is Jane Nelms, who is, in fact, there's a movie, I can't remember the name of it, documentary that just came out that Sharon Corman did, and she'd worked about 5 years with Jim Mars on it, and then after he passed, she, finished it, and so Jane is interviewed in that documentary. But I used to think it was more paranormal type stuff, but after we talked, I think it was maybe more alien, maybe.
Alien based.
Because what I remember is my room, we had, it was a T intersection, and the other street would dead into ours. straight would go come into my room if they didn't stop. But this was in the 50s, and it was a brand new neighborhood, so there were not very many houses around. And I had a window facing the street and a window to the side. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night facing the window to the yard. And I got that feeling that you get when somebody's staring at you.
Yes.
When you're trying to remember what's the name now.
Yeah, the fear that it's that fear of like, am I going to screw this up? Which I usually do.
So I actually at that age,
ESPN, come on. She knows. She knows a lot about me, and I don't even know about me yet.
I turned around and looked at that window, and there was this very bright, blinding white light coming, much brighter than a car with it on brights, and there wouldn't have been a car coming down that street. There were only a couple of houses, and we knew those people. They wouldn't be driving down. But anyway, it was much brighter than a car headlights. And in that, of course, your shadows make things bigger. But
Right.
there was a hand in my window where one of the fingers was longer than the other. So I saw that. That was my first memory. But then there also ended up being through the years as a child, and up until I was 19, off and on, I would see this feature or this, whatever it was, this feature, this thing that I was still kind of attributing to paranormal. But she's been on the ship. She's had a hybrid baby. She gets visited. She's been on the ship a number of times and visited. Jane Nelms has. So she used to investigate. She was with another group that was like MUFON, and she was a president of Dallas chapter, and she's done hundreds, if not thousands, investigations. So she's really amazing. She was even on 60 Minutes at one point.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, way back when. But anyway, I'm telling her this, and then there's this creature that I would see that was like shadow, but it wasn't a shadow. It was all, solid black and solid black, very tall, and was in a row.
Well, okay. Yeah.
And then it was darker inside where the face would be. So Jane asked me, was it walking? So the last time I saw it when I was 19, my folks lived in Dallas. I was still up in Memphis, Tennessee. I had just moved down, and I was staying in a room that had two twin beds, and one was by the door. And I saw this creature 2 nights in a row. One night I was wide awake. The other one I woke up, and then I was wide awake. But that was the first night. Second night I was still wide awake, and it came in. It was the same being. Came in, stopped at the door, looked at me. I never had ever felt threatened by it. I didn't even really question it. Stared at me, then it would come into the room and turn around and sit down on that other bed facing the door. It's almost like it was protecting me. I don't know what from, but I've had a couple really weird, scary things that happened to me when I was a teenager, and that was the last time that I know that I saw it. But Jane asked me, was it walking or was it floating? And I think about it. I said, well, it was not like way up, but just a few inches off the ground. It was floating. And she asked me that because she told me one of the times when she was on the ship and in the nursery with the babies, there were other women up there and they were doing bonding with the children, the hybrids, that this being came in on the ship exactly the way I described. And she said, I don't know what that being was, but it was somebody that was high up, like a commander or somebody, was high up.
Yeah.
And he was like, he came in, he looked around, and he went back out. So
Somebody's trying to distract you.
I know.
And he's kind of doing a good job. We won't
But-
mention any names, will we, Kay?
But you know what? He always remembers my name.
Well, you know what? He's a good guy. Or is it? It's
Are you
good
not
guy.
a good guy?
No, I'm not a good guy. No.
And if I didn't mess with him, he would think I'm maybe.
Then I'd go pick on him instead of you.
Consider she once told me, mess with me some more and I'll treat you like I treat my own kids. And also, you do know I'm armed, right?
And I can have you on the ground in a heartbeat because I am retired law enforcement. We didn't go into that.
I knew that.
I remember those two quotes quite well.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And you remember seeing somebody being thrown to the ground.
Oh my gosh, I was looking up.
That's awesome. That was Keith H. Everybody, by the way.
Yeah.
Communist himself.
Right. So it's like, so I got to thinking that, maybe, I don't know. It's all a mystery.
Yeah, it is.
So are you more into then, seriously, are you more into the alien side of the paranormal or the ghosty side
Or the cryptid.
or the cryptid side? Yeah, you got your three anomalies.
I'm into all of them.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Did you have a preference though? I know you're involved in MUFON a lot, but
Right,
do you
yeah,
have- do you
field
have kind of-
investigator. But, like when I leave here tomorrow, I'm headed to Mena, Arkansas to Bigfoot for a couple days.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and today's nights, yeah. Yeah. I love being outdoors.
Yeah.
So move on and big, cryptids that fits that bill perfectly.
Yep.
I've been talking about Mina all weekend. People have been asking me, well, have you seen things? Yeah. So the craziest ones, I guess, was down in Mina, Arkansas. And I was down at Orville. Guys, I'll throw this one out there for you.
And I'll be,
Bristol Board Camp.
yeah, I'll be out there. I'll be over there visiting with them too while I'm over.
Cheryl and Orville.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, great place. Great
Yeah.
people. Hey, guys.
Yeah, friends of mine.
There you go. I knew that, see? But I didn't know your name yesterday.
I know. You thought it was Debbie.
So that.
No, I thought it was Debbie. But anyway.
Do I look like a Debbie?
No, not at all.
But no, it was really cool. I mean, 'cause I've had some Bigfoot experiences down there, and it was just so
The
amazing.
next question was about big.
Well, but with Board Camp Crystal Mine, the first time that I went there and met them was for the UFO experience. Because they were doing that because they had a MUFON Star team come out and were able to verify that there was three beams of light were coming down over in there. And do you know the area was where they dig up there? And to this day, if you put something metal out there, by the next morning it's magnetized. It magnetized everything that night where the three beams of light were. Yeah. But also with it, they have a stage on their property. And so the first time I went, you got the tree on the little hill behind the stage.
Mhm.
And then it has looks like the log or the tree trunk that's up in the tree. So I immediately knew there was Bigfoot there.
Something going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I played hide and seek over at Board Camp all night with
Did you
people.
really?
Yes.
I actually,
cool.
one of them,
It
one
was a
of them,
blast.
okay, so I'm on the deck. I slept, I was going to sleep on the deck and it rained
Oh.
torrentially that night. So I slept inside on the couch.
I was in the apartment.
Oh, the apartments are around the corner. But he did tell me that they did tell me the story about that you guys came out there. And it was really fascinating. But sitting on the deck, it didn't start raining until about 2 o'clock in the morning. Torrential. I'm glad I slept inside. But anyway, I'm looking over that little short. You got the platform there, and just below that there's like a small field. I don't know, they got some kind of weird contraption out there. But then I don't know what it is. Can't remember. But anyway, beyond that there's a field. Then you go up a little hill.
Yeah.
There's a bigger meadow.
Right.
there in
Well,
the
they
trees.
they used to do concerts over it.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in the 70s, 80s, or whatever. Yeah. And but if you go around from that stage you're talking about, and you go around the side, there's a little glen there just before you get to the big field, and there's a picnic table there. So two of us were sitting out there the one night, and um,
Pick it.
I'm trying to contact, you know, the Sasquatch that were down there through my spirit box, and it just kept blowing up my battery. So I'm like, all right, screw this. This sucks. And it's like, I'm just going to think. And then, try to talk to him, mentally, or mentally, telepathically. you know that I'm good with words this past weekend.
I've
You know
noticed.
that. Yeah, you know, Debbie and mental. Anyway, um, so we're sitting there. I'm facing the meadow, big old oak tree right behind me, like 8 feet away, and I kind of I got good peripheral vision, and I saw this flat shape about eight about 8 feet tall, whatever, and it was you could see it was an outline of looked like the typical Sasquatch. And I'm like, I don't want to move. So I'm kind of like the person sitting across from me, and it's like, I said, and she looks over, she goes, her eyes got really big, and I'm like, and I kind of looked this way a little bit, and at that point they knew that we had seen it, and it just slid back behind the tree. I'm like, oh my God, this is so freaking cool. But yeah, I was out there doing everything that night.
Well, we didn't even have to do anything, and I believe it was a full moon. It was cold,
Okay.
and it was cold, so it was in the fall. And yeah, Troy Hudson was there, and Troy does all the Bigfoot investigations in Oklahoma for 5 of the tribes. I knew him through law enforcement. I've known him probably 30 years. And, but yeah, just through professionally. And he was there, so I didn't even know he did any Bigfoot. And, we literally were playing hide and seek.
Oh, that's awesome.
We would go and not, because of the full moon, we didn't need flashlights most of the time. And, there's sort of some trails around in there. And it would go and it would just stand at the trail, on the trail, and wait for us to see. And then it would go off. Then we would get little rocks or limbs tossed in our direction, and we would go. So it was hide and seek all night for
That's pretty
hours and
awesome.
hours. Yeah.
The other thing when I was there, just sitting there staring at the sky, I mean, we were watching for UFOs. I'm watching very lights show up within the tree line, the beyond the field. And I'm like, those are not fireflies, guys. Those fireflies are yellow green. These are blues and reds and purples. I mean, pretty good size, just everywhere. And really, the thing that got me was on that field out there, the upper one. I kept seeing this row of lights, like white lights, and they would kind of all of a sudden they kind of stretch out all the way across that field, and they would undulate like a
Oh, so that
wave.
was over at their place that you saw
I
them.
saw them at their place. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on that. I haven't been anyplace else in Mina except there. I just spent one night, but I saw this wave of white light go across like a blanket. Then it would stop, and then it would start again, or it would stop and go backwards. Seen anything like that?
No, I told you I had a friend out that sees lights all the time on their property out there by me, but that I was going to talk to.
Oh,
And
okay.
see, yeah.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that last night.
Yes, we did.
Because I forgot your name, and I apologize, and I forgot your name again. Hey guys, it's me.
Just call me Sally.
So I have a
Yeah,
question.
now you got to really screw me up.
You mentioned a second book and possibly the trilogy. Do you have any idea when the second book might be out?
No,
No,
no. I
I
don't.
understand.
Whenever, well, a lot of times that will be after when Kathy and I have the time
Yes.
to start working on that, and between us and things that have happened with families and stuff, it's been tough. So
Sure.
sometime the next few years.
Good deal. And is this the only book you've written? Have you written
No.
others? What else have you written?
Well, I wrote one I don't want anybody to buy on Amazon because the publisher is not in business, but they still have all the authors up and will do like the Kindle, the ebooks. And we're out of contract, been out of contract for over 5 years. They have not paid me a penny. So don't buy profiling. Paranormal profiling 2 will be out hopefully in the next few weeks.
Okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah, in the next few weeks. And that one will be much more in depth with that one. First one was a basic how to interview, look for signs of deception. This one goes into more detail, more advanced on that. It goes into how do you interview children, which is a totally different way of doing things. And if you have somebody that maybe they're schizophrenic or something, how do you deal with people with mental issues like that? And all that sort of stuff.
That's fascinating.
So and it not just that, but it goes, of course, interviewing anybody is really the same, but it'll have more information on it with cryptids and with UFO in there too. So it's a book for everybody. Even if you're head of HR, get the book. You know, and that'll be paranormal profiling too.
Okay. So how much is your detective work in the past or your police work affected what you do? I mean, it's probably
Because I do the same thing.
okay.
The interviews are the same, the investigations are the same. And even when I was going through the training to be a MUFON field investigator, and then they were very basic in telling people how to turn on a video camera and all sorts of things. And then a lot of the items that they use are things that either I use for paranormal or it's stuff that I've done with law enforcement for years. Yeah. So they're all kind of interchangeable, really, if you know how to do your interviews or your investigation.
Okay. And you're better at remembering names than I am, right?
Sometimes.
Okay. Oh my God. So what about we have more guests here, guys. Wave to Keith. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So let's go back to the haunted Hill House for a second. This was in your you live nearby here?
No,
Okay.
I'm about 3 hours away.
Okay, well, never mind that question. I'll pass up on that one. But what's some of your favorite stories about in there as far as your some of your adventures taking you and experiences?
Well, I have been bitten. I've been scratched. I have missing time.
Okay.
I have, here are lots of audible. And then this past year or so, a whistler has shown up. There's been a creature that's been singing like a wolf from behind the house. You got a hill that they call East Mountain in Mineral Wells.
Okay.
And it comes out, but the descriptions of it, it's huge and it's black. And it really fits your description of a dire wolf.
Oh,
It
interesting.
has, and it has chased people back into the house. They were like hanging out in the back smoking, maybe. Yeah. It runs them back in. You hear all these big burly guys and stuff running into the house.
That's awesome. Isn't there something, and I may be wrong, if I am, let me know. Isn't there something with Hill House where people end up flying down, running down the stairs to get out?
Oh yeah, they do that all the time.
I was thinking it was a pretty common occurrence there.
Yeah, they leave in the middle of the night. That,
Nope, you wouldn't
Which-
see me leaving in the middle of
Very
the night.
intense.
So
which
this-
is why they have a camper, the owners do, that they'll stay in or somebody will stay in when there's somebody at the house. Because people will just leave in the middle of the night and not say anything, and they don't want the house, they don't want things to be left on, like
Yeah.
the air conditioning or the heating, because they unplug all that stuff. They don't want a fire, they don't want people to break in and steal stuff or damage anything. So, but I will tell you, if you stay in their camper, because I've stayed in the camper, and usually I'm on the couch, and somebody's back in the bedroom, and I have always thought, because when Kathy stays in there, so Kathy and Sonny own it, and Kathy would go in and do a history tour, and sometimes she still does that, but not as much anymore. The information's available at the house. Uh, she'd go in and do that, and then she'd go back to the camper, and Sonny would come in, and he would take them upstairs because she won't go upstairs. And they have equipment there, so if somebody rents the house, they don't have to worry about equipment. They've got tons of stuff there, and he would, show them how it works, and all that kind of stuff. And she'd talk about how the camper was shaking or banging on the walls or something. That's the inside one and outside one. And the inside one is the one that was supposed to kill another child there and made it look like he hung himself, but like sexually abused and stuff is the whole story with that. But I would go in there, Maria and I, there'd be somebody else or something, we're both in there, and I would feel the camper shake, and it's a pretty good sized one. It would shake. And I thought, oh, she's just, moving around in the bed, right? And then she would feel it shake. She thought, oh, I must be getting up or moving around. And it was neither one of us. So it's like, oh, so that's the shake.
Crazy.
Yeah. I've seen people get possessed in the house. about probably about 3 times.
So you said you have audibles, probably EVPs, of course, shadow figures. Do you ever see any apparitions there?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Some places, no, they don't really show
But
But
even
themselves.
not once. It shows how common it is.
yeah. Well, so Nick Groff had that one series, Night Walker.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So he came and he did one episode at the house. He was going to come back and do a second, and they never did. But I was interviewed for that show. Second show. So I'm in the living room. The doors are open to the scratch room, into the passageway and all. And we're about to. Well, during the interview, he hears like it was a quieter hiss, but heard a hiss. I knew who it was, and we just kept going. And then when we were about to wrap up, there was a really loud hiss. It was Nick. It was just Nick and his cousin. His cousin was a cameraman. They both, their eyes like bug out. And they look at each other and I go, oh, that's Toby. Like,
You know what it is.
it's just Toby. But Toby, over a lot of times over the microphone stuff, he almost sounds like an air freshener that's in a commercial building that goes,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it is. Yeah, with his hiss, sounds like that. But he'll hiss, he can growl, and he'll tell you to get out. And they all have the same tone. So, I always know it's Toby. And because they went in, they went around to see what could have made that noise. And I said, see, no, there's no air freshener thing. There's no this, there's no that. And I was waiting for him to do that part with that hiss. And they were there for a few nights. The first night he stayed in the house, but his cousin went to the hotel. And he said he couldn't sleep because he kept something kept telling me, go to sleep. You need to go to sleep. So he wasn't going to sleep. And he didn't stay the second night.
So you can stay there, but
Oh, absolutely. You can rent the place.
like beds or anything? You got to bring anything, or
No, there's 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms in the house.
okay, so it's almost like Airbnb
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah, well, it is kind of like because they have donuts in the morning.
Oh, God, we got to go now.
They also
Okay,
We're
he's
shop.
pencil.
they provide snacks.
Okay.
They provide, sodas and water, coffee, and that kind of stuff too. In addition to all the other stuff.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know we've been talking about coming down, and we need to do that. We need to do that next year.
You should.
We need to do that next year.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I have a team from Oklahoma that finally,
As soon as I'm back in right.
finally made it down, and of course they asked me to come out with them, and I said sure. I'll come out there and hang with y'all.
Terrific. So my last question would be, what you look like yourself? Can you tell everybody where they can find you if they want to get a hold of you, or where they can buy your books?
They can go to Amazon and buy the book. Don't buy the paranormal profiling. Wait till it says 2 on it. Then that's a good one. And hopefully, like I said, in a few weeks that one will be out. And
That's great.
because I have another interview in November, I want it up before then. So I thought I was going to have the book with me here, but life got in the way. So,
As it does.
Facebook. Oh, I'm on all the social media pretty much. And you just put my name in, and it'll pop up.
Yeah, but don't type in Debbie,
Yeah, won't find her.
right?
No, because she's not on Facebook.
See, there you go.
No, it's not on Facebook.
Yeah.
You can email
I will
her.
never, we'll never be let this time, and I know. It's okay. It was my fault.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, really.
That's great.
Let you come on. Man, have a hug.
I guess.
Martha, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, Martha. Thank
Yeah.
you for
I can't reach
hanging
your
out.
hug, but I can get a handshake.
Girl, pass the hug your way. There you go.
There we go. Then when you roll away, I can always pat your shoulder.
There we go. Perfect. But yeah, we appreciate this. It's
Yeah.
really good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Anytime.
And where are you going to be coming up? I think you were going to be at another festival or.
I am not going to be anywhere until sometime next year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I know I will be in Mineola, Texas in the spring.
Okay. Terrific.
There'll be one in Mineola.
And you'll probably be back here next year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and there'll be some others, you know. I mean, you might find me on a cruise ship in February.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
You bring your stuff with you?
But
No.
we'll be doing sky watching there.
Okay, there you go. Oh, that's awesome.
Good
do-
place to find stuff.
Yeah.
Darker skies.
On this lights, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Very
we'll be down in Mexico and over in Honduras at Rotan. Yeah.
cool. That sounds fantastic.
Mhm.
So
I think it
that'll
goes
be a
to-
good time for
I
sure.
think it goes to. Actually, I think that one goes to Cayman also, Grand Cayman. I'm not sure.
Nice.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I have to go check sometime before we go.
Right.
Just go to relax.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet.
And
Bye, y'all.
yeah, everybody, we are live from the Arkansas Expo. We've just been talking with our good friend Martha Hazard-Becker, and she's fantastic.
It's Mark.
Really enjoyed it. So we're gonna stop going live for a little bit, but everybody have a fantastic afternoon, and we'll be back soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Stay amok.